Hey. Okay, so I have kind of a fun video today because I was just chatting with one of my friends who's also an entrepreneur. She's doing quite well, and we've actually known each other since we were both kind of like newbie entrepreneurs, just starting our businesses. And we would have a lot of conversations about like, this isn't working. And in the beginning of running our businesses, we both ran into a lot of um, problems where we were worried, where are we going to get that next client from, or how are we going to get to that level that we want to get to or scale to, six figures and sustain that. And I know in the beginning of working for yourself, it's so scary because you've probably left some sort of job where there was that level of consistency, right? Every week you're going to get a paycheck, or every shift you work, you're going to make tips, whatever it is. And you move into this world of like, if you don't make the sale, who's going to pay the rent, right? So we used to have a lot of those conversations of like, okay, maybe we should try this or maybe we should try that. But our conversations are very different these days. And we were talking about one of the new things that she's bringing into her business, a kind of new arm of her business. And I said, like, what's your project plan? What's your timeline? And instantly she came back to me with her exact project plan. And we both started dying laughing because if you would have asked me what my project plan is for a giant project that's probably going to bring in like another $100,000 for her every year, we both would have been like, we're just going to figure it out. Like, we're just going to do it as soon as we can. And so the thing that it got me thinking is that I think the key difference between a newbie entrepreneur and somebody who is, kind of established and is in the flow of running a business are project plans. And I think the sooner you start them, the better. I wish I was doing this way sooner. So all a project plan really is whatever your big goal is. Let's say it's to create a new webinar funnel and you want to get your next clients on the phone with you after they've come to your webinar. All you got to do is reverse engineer everything that needs to happen, everything you think that needs to happen, and put a time frame on it. I like to be extremely generous with my time frames because number one, I don't like feeling stressed out by a project plan. And number two, things come up, right? There's things that, especially with new projects that you've never done before, you think it's going to take you an hour and you realize, oh, I actually have to get this whole new software and blah, blah, blah. It ends up taking you 3 hours. So I'm really generous with my project plans. And I recommend doing that. But all you do is reverse engineer everything you think you have to do, make a huge list, put how long you think it's going to take you, give yourself a couple like buffer days or buffer weeks, depending on how huge the project is, and then start putting those times in your calendar all the way until you get to today, or start at the top and start, today or tomorrow, and put it in your calendar all the way up to when the project is finished. That's going to give you a really good timeline of how long everything's going to take you. It's going to give you a good timeline or a good idea of if you need any additional support or things that you're going to have to maybe say no to or not prioritize in the next couple of weeks and months in order to get this project plan completed. And I think what I thought about project plans in the beginning was that they only applied for projects like rebranding or launching a website or creating a new freebie. But actually, a project plan applies to literally everything you have to do. Anything in your business needs a project plan. And the more you get into the habit of it, and you don't have to call it a project plan, the more you get into the habit of it, the more your business is going to start running like that well-oiled machine. And so I don't really have anything new to share with you today because I've talked about project plans probably a million times. And I know it sounds really boring because it kind of is, but I just felt inspired today by this conversation because I can really see the difference in the way that we would run our businesses when we, first, would have these conversations and first met each other and now, and it's a lot less frantic and a lot more deliberate. And I think one of the key reasons is because we have such better planning skills now. So if you want to start, if you want to take a peek behind a 6-figure, 7-figure business, and you want to know, like, what are they actually doing? They are working on whatever is in their project plan. And generally, my calendar will have like 2 or 3 different project plans on at a time, plus my weekly like my day-to-day updates within my business. So right now, this video that I'm filming, I'm batching, and I have a batch project plan right now because I'm planning to have a baby in the next couple of weeks. Holy crap. And one of the things that I really want to have ready is the content to continue to go out. So I have a project plan in place that says, hey, today you need to film all the videos that are coming out over the next couple of weeks. And this is me working on my project plan right now, way ahead of time, way. So my recommendation is get yourself in the habit of making everything a project plan. Not only is it going to make you feel so much more deliberate and less overwhelmed and frantic in your business, but it's also going to allow you to have so much more space and predictability with your time and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And if if you're like, okay, that sounds really nice, because I'm like imagining what my past self would say. And if you're like, that sounds great, but I literally need to focus on where my next client is coming from. I need to make money. And I respect. Put aside 2 days that are just money-making activities. Get your non-negotiables done in the morning every single day. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look through my videos. I have so many on non-negotiables. Get those done in the morning so you're sure that you've done your money-making activities for the day. But then also put aside 2 days that are just for profit-generating projects, or outreach or whatever. Then the other 3 days, if you have that time frame, have that focused on maybe 1 day on your content and 2 days on projects or something like that. So, just kind of consider it. Put it in your calendar, even if you only have a couple hours on Wednesday mornings to work on project plans. Try it out and see how much more momentum you're going to start to have in your business. I hope you found this helpful. And if you have questions on creating project plans, let me know.